Hey guys, how's it going? Just doing a quick update, another one. Actually, it's been, I think it was back in December that I did the last update, and it's been about a month since I've put up a video. So, hey, everybody's got to have a break every now and then. And I guess kind of like think, I don't know, you guys don't want to bloody see some of the stupid shit that I bloody do around here. But anyway, so I'm going to do a quick update and a little bit on the pool, which you can most probably hear the water running through. That's the filter system that I've done, so I'll just give you a bit of a show on that. I haven't gone as far as I've wanted to with that, but it's just been hot and we've just got so many different things bloody going on around here. It's hard to try and get everything done. I've been playing around with Max a little bit, looking at ways of when I'm going to go and do a big trip, and maybe if I do a big trip by myself, how I should set this up and myself to try and be a lot more safer, and of course obviously the bike being better handling if I was to go back into somewhere like the French line or something like that. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but just like the brain ticking over and just trying to work bits and pieces out. So I'll just show you a couple of little things that I've been looking at doing. The veggie patch, you've got to see the bloody veggie patch, oh my god. This is what the veggie patch will look like when you saw it in the last update, and I'll bring you out then and go and have a look at it. So, surprise, surprise, I didn't expect this veggie patch to go as bloody good as it did. Now all that soil that we put in these pots was all the stuff that we mulched up just from the leaves and grass and bloody sticks and bits and pieces. So we've got our lettuces. Oh, they're okay. They're supposed to be iceberg ones, but they're working out all right. We've got our cherry tomatoes, and you can see we've got bloody cherry tomatoes coming up everywhere. This capsicum, this was the first thing to produce the fruit, and my god, they're only mini capsicums. We didn't realise that we've already got a few red ones off it. So that's going really well. And then over here, this is the best thing. This is the cucumber plant. And if you look underneath there, oh my god, it's a cucumber. Apparently this is a bush cucumber, not your normal average one. I don't know, I don't know anything about bloody stuff. We got our, actually, from the last one we've added, what did we add? We added chives, because I love chives. So they're going really, really good. And I think, yeah, the strawberries, we don't have any on there at the moment, but they're coming along. And of course the celery and more lettuce over there. So there you go, we can grow bloody shit. Just recently, Matt, which is Nay's oldest son, and his mate Lucas, Matt borrows Nay's bike, and he's got his L's. He's nearly ready to go for his P's actually. And he loves jumping on that and bloody going for rides with Lucas and some of the other guys. Anyway, him and Lucas decided they were going to go for a ride out to a place called Turpin's Falls. And I hadn't been there for bloody, I think I worked it out, it was about 28 years was the last time I was there. So I think it would have been, I don't know, 18 or something like that. And I remembered going in there, and I was in the back of somebody's bloody station wagon, a whole bunch of us bloody larrikins, yahooing, and it was a dirt road to get there anyway. They said they're going to go there, and they reckoned it was tarred all the way, and I thought, well, 28 years, yeah, the roads would be tarred. Anyway, so we thought we'd jump on and tag along. So it was me and Nay on Harry, the Boulevard, and Matt had the Intruder, and Lucas is on a Ninja 250, I think it is, the green thing. Anyway, so we headed off, but it was still a dirt road, bloody corrugated road to get in there. I think it was about 3 or 4 Ks, and all the bikes, the Ninja, the bloody, the Intruder, travelled down at no worries, and obviously we already know Harry's sweet for doing dirt roads. So yeah, the Intruder is doing very, very well. Handled that dirt road, no worries. You know, 100 Ks, 110 Ks an hour. Matt just bloody cruises along. I think we're over the 3. Yeah, you can see there. So it's now done 3,148 kilometres. Yeah, so that's not bloody, that's it's proving to be a bloody good bike. Haven't had any problems. The only problem, as we've said in the previous one, I think Nay did when she did the little review on the bike, was that when it's really cold, sometimes when you're pulling up, it'll stall, but you just start it straight back up. But obviously it's been warm weather, so we haven't had that, or Matt or Nay haven't mentioned that it's happened. So yeah, great little bike. Now I'll show you what I've done with this pull. You can see. So it's still the same. I don't have any of that the wood stuff around there. I've still got a pallet over here. It's got to be ripped apart. There's some of the wood that's from pallets that we have ripped apart. Actually, before I I should show you the pull. But we've grabbed a bloody tool from America that rips out nails. It's a really handy thing. I'll just give you a quick bloody show of it. But here's what I've done. I've gone and bought just a little 12 volt water pump. It'll handle hot and cold water because, as I said, I'm going to try and do running the hot, getting it to be a hot water bloody spa or whatever you want to call it. And just bought some bloody tubing from Bunnings, so it sucks it in, goes through there, runs through the pipe, and then out there. Now that's a drink bottle. I just drilled some holes in the end of it. That stuff that's in there is just what you'd use for a fish tank, so that filter bloody stuff. So I just jam all that stuff in there, put that on there, and just let it pump through. And I tell you what, it does a fantastic job. And when that gets really dirty, I just get I take that off, get a pair of pliers, and I just pull that stuff out and then reload it back up. And I'll tell you what, with a little bit of bloody chlorine, that really keeps that clean. Now I'll show you. Of course, if you've got a pool, you've got to have a skimmer, and this is my pool skimmer. Look at that! I tell you what, it does the bloody job. That's a fish tank skimmer. Bloody crazy, but it works. So what I've got left to do is on this is get that bloody wood stuff around it, and then the next step when it gets colder, because it's too bloody hot to be doing hot water at the moment, is that fire thing. I've also bought some black pipe, which is over here. And if you've ever looked at doing stuff like this, is common black pipe, but I'm going to use that like a solar thing, so I'll have the water pumping through that, and that sitting all coiled around out flat to help heat up the water as well. Okay, so I'll go over and quickly just show you this little tool that we got from America. So if you've ever been trying to pull out bloody nails out of something, and pellets are the worst for it, when you're trying to use your claw hammer to pull the nail out and the flat part of the nail pulls off, then you've got to get a screwdriver, a pair of pliers or those nail pullers, and you got to grip on it and also pull. It's a pain in the ass, especially when you're doing lots, and when you're doing pellets, there's just nails left, right and centre. So I came across on the internet this thing called the Quick Gripper. The problem was, and we get this obviously here in Australia, you find some great stuff in America because they've got so much bloody stuff over there, that it either costs a fortune to bloody get it over here, or they won't ship outside of America. So I come across Australia Post now has a thing called Shopmate, and basically what happens is over in America they have a facility that you have letterboxes. And you can register, it's free. You just register for a letterbox over there, and then when you order from America, you get it sent to that American address. Once it gets to there, Australia Post then sends it back to Australia, which is bloody fantastic. So there's something that you really want, and this is something that we really wanted because we do lots of pallets, and it's already saving heaps of time. It's not like it's a cheaper option to get things sent or anything like that. I've only done it once, so I don't know if it's cheaper or more expensive or whatever, but it was just great that I could actually get something from America that I couldn't have been able to get. So there you go. I'll just quickly show you how it works. So I've just hammered a nail just into this bit of wood just so you can see it, but basically, it's got a little claw thing, but the main thing is this bit here. the nail goes in there, and that just clamps down on it all by as you pull. So the harder you're trying to pull a nail out, the harder that thing is actually gripping it. If you search for quick gripper, they've got videos on it, and it just shows you. You can pull nails. I've pulled nails out the other way out. It'll just rip them through. So basically, just stick it on there, do that, and pull it out. Bloody simple, love it. I'll just quickly show you the mod that I've, I don't know whether I've actually already, I feel like I've already shown you guys that I changed Charlie's, I took that fruit box off and the extra bit of stuff that I had on the side for the fuel tank. Sure I have, but I'm just going to do it quickly again. So I've changed Charlie's box, so it's pretty much the same as what Nays did. I've stolen her idea and what she did for Tango. Both bikes are still going bloody fantastic. I've got to adjust the idle just a fraction on Tango, because sometimes when you pull up he just will stall. But then normally when you get home and you pull up and you go, oh, and it just runs perfectly, I don't know. So I think it's just a minor adjustment on the idle on that. And the bar, I'll show you the bar. Now the bar on Tango is the crash bar. So that's the normal side, and then you see this side. Oh, it's a bit hard to bloody. I'll do that maybe. Yeah, there you go. You can see that's the normal, and then this one is way out. Now this one was already a little bit bent anyway, but since it's laid down a couple of times now on this side, it's bent even more. So I've got to bend that back out. I noticed I had a bit of a quick ride on it, and my foot was kind of like touching it a bit when I was doing the gears. But, so, the problem I had with Charlie, especially when we were putting the two bikes together on the back of the trailer and all the little, the table setups and stuff that I've got, Charlie just seemed a bit too wide in the arse, so I ended up taking out those, here's what I had, the fuel tanks, or the fuel jerry can bloody things, and they were inserted into the bags. But it made his ass so wide, so what we ended up doing, if I can just undo this, oh come on, one hand of this, yeah, just got some core flute stuff from Bunnings, and we just, with duct tape, I don't know if you can see it there. Ooh, where are you? There you are. Yeah, it's just duct taped it. So it means that the bags, when they're empty, stay nice and full and don't look all saggy and baggy and crap. But I've saved quite a bit of stuff on the side. Anyway, there you go. Oh, I didn't show you the what's powering that 12 volt pump for that pull. I've basically got a little solar panel up there. You can see that. It's just a portable one. I think it's 60 watt. It folds into a like a suitcase type thing. It's actually pretty cool. So that up there, which then follows a wire that goes down. So I don't have it directly to the pump. It just goes onto a little 7 amp battery. So the pump is actually running from the battery, and the solar panel's double adapted on. I don't know how it all bloody works. I think the solar goes, whatever's left over goes to the battery. I don't know, whatever. But there you go. I don't know. It all works, that's all that bloody matters. So what I've been doing with Max, or what I'm trying to work out in my head is, as we all bloody struggle with, we always take too much stuff on the bikes on our trip. Well, most of us do, or I do. You're always thinking, if this happens, well, I'll need that, and if that happens, I need this, and bloody blah blah, and the next minute your bike's bloody a friggin' camel. So I know from doing that thing with Ken, the Simpson Desert Ramble, we took spare tubes and bloody slime and a tool to bloody pull down the whole bloody bike and back up, and he had cooking stuff, I had cooking stuff, and a lot of double up stuff, I suppose. just a lot of unnecessary stuff. I know Ken was really good in some spots where he had just the stove. He didn't worry about pots, having a pot to cook his meal. He'd just have his can and he'd heat up his can and away he'd go. I had pots, or a pot, and just it's the little things, and it's the little things that eventually just bloody, you know, you might go, oh, it's only this size, and you know, it only weighs 10 gram. Well, it all bloody adds up at the end. So when you're doing something pretty hard like the French line, you've really got to be hard on yourself, I suppose, to make that bike light. You know, if you're doing it supported, well, you know, you've got, you know, a vehicle that you can offload a lot of stuff, or to carry fuel, or carry the water. If you're doing it unsupported like what me and Ken did, where you've got to carry everything, you've got to carry all your fuel, all your water, your food, your camping gear, the whole kit and caboodle. And then you've got to try and cross this unforgiving friggin' French line. So, you know, and if you're like me, you know, you're not bloody gung-ho, you're not, well, I'm not saying gung-ho, but I mean, you're not, you know, a skilled rider, it really impedes how you go out there. So, in my head, I've just thought, you know, what can I do? You know, what really don't I need to take? And, you know, it's things like, I don't need to take a bloody pot. Just do what Ken did. Put it in a bloody, you know, bring the can along, heat that up. Simple. But I come across, water was a big thing. You know, we didn't have enough water. We would have had enough water if I was the better rider, you know, getting through it a lot quicker, and having that shitty bloody 36 degree heat weather out there. Would have made a huge difference, and we wouldn't have had a problem. A lot of factors, but that's the thing. That just shows you how well prepared you can be, and how shit can go a bit bloody wrong. I came across these little bags. They hold a bottle. So this is a 1 litre bottle. Now it's quite a small diameter. So it's the thin 1 litre bottles that will fit in it, or if you've got like the 500 litre bottles and stuff like that. The beauty of these is that it has this little, of course the phone's going to ring. Hang on a minute. Sorry about that, I just passed that one over to Nay. Alright, so yeah, and it's basically got these little straps that come down. So basically this is universal. If you've got somewhere that you can loop that over, you can do it. Now what I did on my pannier bags, oh actually I've got the bloody one sitting there. I've got these straps that go around. Now obviously when this is all tight, God, what am I doing? So that, well, basically when it's on the bike it sits on that side. So I can have another one on this side, so I can have 4 litres sitting on the outside of the bag like that. And of course having, you know, multiple spots for your water is good, because if you get a hole in something, that's all your water gone. So basically, yeah, it sits like that. And I tested this on the last, it was the last ramble. Yeah, I tested it. So on that 2 days of going through all the tracks and that, and it was hanging on there just like that. Obviously, it's tighter like that. And yeah, it didn't come off. I thought maybe these buckle things would come off, but they didn't. And I thought to myself, well, if you're really going to be going on a trip somewhere, I can just put some gotcha straps around that just for added security. So that's one thing I've been bloody kicking around with. The other thing, so that was just the water thing. I've already got the fuel stuff. That's, you know, a big ass bloody 33 litre bloody tank. I think it's 33 litres or something that it now takes, because it apparently expands over time. I must check it actually, if it even takes even more now. And then I've got those fuel bladders, and that holds, I think it's 12 litres that holds, and that worked really well. That was bloody great stuff. Now the other thing was, if I was doing it by myself, or somewhere by myself, and I've seen those videos where bloody people have actually gone down a bloody cliff. There's a really good video, I can't remember what it's called or where it is or whatever, but basically there's 2 guys. One guy was in front, he was riding along, and he just missed something and he went over a cliff, and then there was another shelf. So it wasn't a huge drop, but it was enough to knock him out. But his bike actually went down the next cliff, and you watched it because he had his GoPro or whatever camera he had on his helmet. So we actually got to see that, you know, he's come off, and then he's kind of like come to, because he's been knocked out for a little bit, and he's come to, and he's kind of like looking around, and of course the track that he was on on a ledge, and then you've got a bit more mountain, so you just really couldn't see. He had no idea. You look that way, this way, his bike's not there, he doesn't know what the hell's happened. And that's when you go, shit, if I had my spot tracker on the bike, if I had whether you had a sat phone or bloody first aid kit because you gassed yourself or whatever, you're buggered because it was all on your bike. So that got me thinking. I thought, shit, and I've heard it before, people saying that you should have your spot tracker on yourself, not on the bike. I've always had it on the bike, and it's I suppose it's something that I'm looking at changing. So I went out and I've bloody seen these what do they call it, Oggio. I don't know how you pronounce that. Oggio, something. It's called the Oggio flight vest, or whatever, however you would pronounce that. I ummed and ahed about it because I thought, oh Jesus, looks like a bloody military spec thing, and people are going to think I'm a bloody dickhead trying to be a military guy. But I bought the billet because it works. It just has everything. Like my first aid kit that I carry this all the time, and it has a compass, a lighter. It's got a little bit of extra stuff in there, Panadol and stuff like that. And then of course all the first aid kit. But there's a pocket right on there that will go into. I've even thought of putting bloody a little whistle thing on there. And of course I can strap on the spot tracker, which would be able to go on there. So in the event, and actually just recently, there was a guy that did the Christian from the Great Australian Ride, when he come off his bike coming out of Steep Point in the sandy section, and I think he was behind or whatever. Anyway, he come off his bloody bike, off the Triumph, and he was actually trapped under his bike. He broke his leg and he was trapped there, and I thought, shit, if there was no one else coming along, and when you're in the outback, there's some places that people don't go through for a week. He would have been knackered, buggered. So that's what's got me on the idea of this. So this has got all the pockets and bits and pieces. Now obviously I know, because people say, don't be putting bloody tools and stuff, because if you come off and that's crashing on you, you've got to make sure that when you're putting stuff in these, well, make sure we're going too far, because I'm going to leave this for another bloody video. But so it has all the pockets and bits and pieces. It's not too heavy on the way that it sits on and buckles up. It's quite a bloody a good fit. But it also has a 2 litre hydration pack in it, and then I use these dromedary bags, and these are 2 litre dromedary bags that I actually had on Max. They were strapped in there like that. Well, now I've got room on each side to put them. Now I don't think I can fit 2 litres and get it zipped up in there, but I can mostly get about 1.5 litres in each of these in these side things. And having that, because I've had it all filled up, it's quite heavy, but it's not that heavy, it's not unbearable. And of course they have all that down low, so that when you're sitting on your bike, this part here, actually when you're sitting, it sits, so the actual seat takes a bit of the weight. But when you've got a you're in the tricky part and you've got to stand up, the whole idea is standing up, it's putting the centre of gravity way down low. I'm going on too much here, I'm going to shut up. So I've been tooling around with stuff like that, and I'll save that for another video. I think that's about it. That's all that's going on around here, bike-wise and bits and pieces. Alright guys, as per usual, keep on riding.
still climbing.
So you just take a video for the police report?